First, the highlights. Lagos State Ministries of Fiscal Planning, Health meet with Africa Development Bank on sustainable system projects. Senate approves Kudirat Kekeriakun as Chief Justice of Nigeria. On the foreign scene, Ukraine president warns of possible attacks on nuclear power plants by Russian forces. And in sports, former Nigeria international passes vote of confidence on Super Eagles interim coach Austin Eguavoen. Now the details. I am John Omoaka. The Lagos State Ministry of Fiscal Planning and Urban Development has met with the Lagos State Ministry of Health and the Africa Development Bank, AFDP, to explore ways of strengthening the sustainability of health systems project preparation in Lagos State. Speaking at the meeting, Commissioner for Fiscal Planning and Urban Development, Oluyinka Olumide, said fiscal planning is critical to any meaningful development and should be the first port of call as far as project preparation is concerned. He noted that the relevance of the Ministry of Fiscal Planning and Urban Development to all development projects in the state is signified by its important roles in site selection and delivery of project sites. Olumide stated that the ministry had also approved designs and monitored construction to ensure compliance with zoning and other provisions of master plans and fiscal planning regulations. Earlier, Commissioner for Health, Akin Abayomi, who facilitated the meeting, said the visit was to explore greater collaboration for strengthening the sustainability of health systems projects in Lagos State. Africa Development Bank team lead, Babatunde Omilola, who expressed satisfaction with the development in Lagos State, said the AFDP was out to promote economic growth and integration on the continent. The Lagos State Christian Pilgrims Welfare Board, LSCPWB, has held a one-day seminar for operations staff in preparation for each free pilgrimage exercise to the Holy Lands coming up soon. The seminar, which was held at the Chapel of Christ's Delight, Alausa Ikeja, was aimed at ensuring that the operations staff were enlightened about their roles and responsibilities during the pilgrimage exercise. The board secretary of LSCPWB, Yetunde Gbafe, while addressing participants, stated that they had been carefully selected from amongst medical and media practitioners, administrators, and clerics who will be seen to the physical and spiritual well-being of the pilgrims while on pilgrimage. Buffett stated that participants should consider this call to serve as an avenue to appreciate the Lagos State government for the immense support received and be prepared to render excellent service delivery to the pilgrims. The Office of Special Advisor to the Lagos State Governor on Development Agenda for Western Nigeria, DAWN, Commission and Regional Integration, has commemorated the maiden edition of the Yoruba Week to preserve and promote the values and rich heritage of the Yoruba race. In his welcome address, Special Advisor on DAWN and Regional Integration, Sumi Odesoya, explained that the Yoruba race is known globally for its rich heritage, culture, and traditions, and such values should not be allowed to go into extinction. According to Odesoya, the office is also partnering with young Yoruba authors to promote reading and writing in the language, and 2,000 copies of such books will be distributed to Yoruba teachers in schools across the state. Special guest and Commissioner for Basic and Secondary Education, Jamiu Alibalogun, referenced a report by UNICEF which said for effective education, children must learn in their mother tongue. Hence, the need for teachers and school administrators to encourage teaching and learning in Yoruba language. Ali Balogun also urged stakeholders to pledge to ensure the survival of the language and its heritage by initiating the use of the Yoruba language in their homes, offices, and other places of engagement. Earlier, former Deputy Speaker, Lagos State House of Assembly, Fumilayo Tejosho, who commended a special advisor for dedicating the last week in September to the celebration of Yoruba Week, noted that the Yoruba culture, belief, language, and heritage must always take center stage, especially in Lagos, which is a cosmopolitan state. Over 500 residents of Lagos have benefited from a free medical outreach organized by the Eco Club as part of activities to mark the 50th anniversary of the Social Cultural Club. The free medical outreach, carried out in conjunction with Special Assistant on Finance to the Speaking House of Representatives, Lukman Lawal, offered Lagosians free tooth removal and dental treatment, cardiovascular test, optometric treatment, and free eyeglasses, diabetes tests and drugs, blood pressure test, prostate test, body mass index checks, and comprehensive medical consultation. Medical Director of Eco Club Health Post, Oluwole Sanda, described the medical outreach as timely and crucial, especially to vulnerable groups, urging Lagosians to embrace the state health insurance packages that offer affordable health care for people of all ages.
Outreach like this are beneficial, and you see, many people cannot afford to go to hospital at times. It has gone a long way to help our members, especially. We should scale it up, and scaling it up means that Lagosians should be aware of their health.
Also, special assistant on finance to the Speaker House of Representatives, Lukman Lawal, who was represented by Oluremi Cole, said the medical outreach demonstrated his commitment to the wellness of his constituents. Beneficiaries ranging from children, women, and the elderly, and paramilitary personnel, among others, commended the leadership of the Eco Club for bringing medical outreach to their localities.
Welcome development, it's good. At least it keeps us abreast of our health status.
They should continue, and God will continue to bless them.
My advice is that this type of occasion should be a regular something that should be going on here, so that to keep all the elders and the middle class healthy.
It is fantastic. I will give kudos to the president of the club. He should keep it up. He should continue with this kind of thing.
In the same vein, the club organized a sports day to engage members and well-wishers in fitness and locomotives activities to promote wellness. The sports day, which is part of the celebration for the club's 50th anniversary, featured indoor and outdoor sports such as squash, tennis, billiards, swimming, and football, among others. Now to the rest of the stories. The Senate has confirmed Justice Kudirat Kekeriakun as the substantive Chief Justice of Nigeria, CJN. Senate President Godswill Akpabio announced Kekeriakun's confirmation during plenary after she was cleared by voice votes. The new CJN was screened for almost 2 hours as lawmakers threw various questions at her, particularly on judicial reforms. Kekeriakun was then cleared by the senators at the Committee of the Whole in pursuant of Section 231, subsection 1 of the Constitution as amended. After announcing the confirmation, Akpabio assured all that Nigeria would get adequate justice under the leadership of Kekeriakun as the new CJN. Earlier, during a screening, Justice Kekeriakun affirmed her stance against corruption in the judiciary. The House of Representatives have directed the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, to conduct a comprehensive assessment of the potential hazards of the recent health tremors experienced in the Federal Capital Territory, FCT. During plenary, the House also urged the NEMA to come up with immediate safety measures to address the situation. This is quelled to a motion of urgent public importance moved by the House Minority Leader, Kingsley Chinda, calling for an urgent investigation into the recent health tremors experienced in the FCT. Chinda, while leading the debate, expressed worries over media reports and complaints from residents in various districts, including Mpape, of tremors and vibrations over the past few months. The minority leader emphasized that despite ongoing investigations, there is yet to be any conclusive explanation for these occurrences. He also highlighted growing fears among residents that these tremors might be precursors to more severe seismic events that could cause significant structural damage of the FCT's infrastructure. United States Ambassador to the United Nations, Linda Greenfield, has met with Nigeria's Foreign Minister, Yusuf Tuga, to discuss the growing partnership between both countries at the United Nations General Assembly's 79th session meeting. Thomas Greenfield reaffirmed the United States' commitment to reforming the United Nations Security Council in making it more inclusive and representative, with specific support for adding 2 permanent seats for African countries. She emphasized the importance of deepening United States-Nigeria continued cooperation, as well as opportunities to deepen the partnership on security, trade and investment, health and other global issues. This is coming after Nigeria has repeatedly demanded the reform of the UN Security Council and the allocation of permanent seats for African countries, recognizing the need to modernize international institutions to reflect contemporary geopolitical realities. And now to foreign news. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has told the United Nations that Russia is planning deeper attacks on its country's nuclear power plants, warning of possible nuclear disaster. The president said he had received intelligence revealing Moscow using satellites provided by other countries to gather information about Ukraine's nuclear infrastructure. He warned the UN General Assembly that the radiation does not respect state borders and many nations could feel a devastating effect if such were to happen. President Zelensky said Russia has destroyed all of Ukraine's thermal power plants and a large part of its hydroelectric capacity as a way to torment Ukrainians ahead of winter. Now sports. Former Nigerian international Friday Ekpo has expressed beliefs that the Super Eagles will thrive under interim head coach Austin Eguavoen. Having commenced its reign with 2 positive results, the team defeated Benin 3-0 before playing out a 1-1 draw with Rwanda in the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers. Ekpo stated that Eguavoen has the capacity and capability to make the Super Eagles a strong force again, adding that the team has shown more hunger and determination in their play since he took over. And that's the news at 9. But just before we go, maintain adequate distance from the vehicle ahead of you to avoid collision. You can follow us and like all of your social media platforms. X at Traffic Radio 961. Facebook, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Instagram, Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs live on YouTube at Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website, www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration constructed watchtowers with alarm bells and perimeter fences in model colleges? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. The Lagos State Ministry of Fiscal Planning and Urban Development has met with the Lagos State Ministry of Health and the African Development Bank, AFDB, to explore ways of strengthening the sustainability of health systems project preparation in Lagos State. The Senate has confirmed Justice Kudirat Kekeriakun as the substantive Chief Justice of Nigeria, CJN. We also told you that Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has told the United States, the United Nations, that Russia is planning deeper attacks on its country's nuclear power plants, warning of possible nuclear disaster. And in sport, former Nigerian international Friday Ekpo has expressed beliefs that the Super Eagles will thrive under interim head coach Austin Eguavoen. For contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast compiled by Dewale Oluworoku. I am John Omoaka. Thank you very much for listening.